When I step in the arena, always seen a moment of truth. I've been a gangster.
Yo, what's the deal, fam? It's your man Ease. Let's talk that new. Ransom, produced by DJ Premier. Amazing Graces. Released October 17, 2025. I believe they have a project coming out, the Reinvention. Straight to the point, I like the record. So we'll start with the production. Very simplistic in a sense, as far as the chops go. Very straightforward, in DJ Premier sort of way. The drums have a life and character. You know, a lot of you were upset with me over the summer because, you know, I was speaking about DJ's Premier drums, and some felt I wasn't qualified or we shouldn't compare his older work to his new work. No, it's a standard. And I think this is a step in the right direction, you know? I thoroughly enjoyed the record. I like it a lot. The scratches are, they're inviting in a sense. They don't seem sloppy or lazy. And he didn't overdo it with like 4 to 6 different vocals in that sense. There's cohesion there. So it gives the beat room to breathe, which creates a pocket for Ransom, who seems very comfortable over this. Found a nice pocket on the record. Paid homage to Jay-Z, Imaginary Players in the beginning of his verse. I like the scheme about the discography of Gangstar, showing love and tribute and honor to both Guru and DJ Premier. Ransom has some witty lines in there. He sounds very comfortable, I might add. And this record kind of speaks against the whole notion that when we were speaking about the Rock Marciano project and the DJ Premier joint, or the collaboration album, and most people said that he tailor-made those beats for Rock Marcy, and I didn't really agree with that for the most part. And this record kind of can serve as some evidence to a sense, because we don't typically hear Ransom over beats like this. This is more of like a Guru pocket, or as I once stated in the comments section, Freddie Fox would go perfect over this record, but it works. And I'm happy to state that. I like the record, I really do. Like, it gives Ransom a different type of energy, even though his flow or his tonality or delivery may not have gone either left or right. It remains centered based on what we hear from him. The aggression or the assertiveness or just the urgency in the production, in a sense, has a different variation to the songs that we typically hear him over. I think there's like a symphony orchestra chop up in there, and the production, the drums, well-rounded. Like the snare drum has like I don't know, it sounds like someone's banging on metal towards the tail end of it. The kick has some knock. I can also hear J. Rue the Damager on this record as well. Like, it just works, I like it. I call it a classic. I'm not saying that it's a 5-mic performance or anything like that. I like the record, and when Primo provides a win, gotta share that with the world. Played it quite a few times since it's come out, back to back to back. Ransom he's someone I like to listen to, because it's beyond flow and delivery or just witty lines. He has substance in his music. A lot of people don't really speak on that. Like, Ransom is not a one-dimensional artist. He may have a monotone flow in a sense, but when we're talking about content matter, he speaks on an array of different topics. You know, on this record, he did the same. Also enjoyed the mix on this record too. I'm not sure who engineered it. It's not listed in the credits, which would lead me to assume that DJ Premier did, because he typically gives the engineer credit. But it's not over compressed, nothing. The drums, vocals, scratches, everything is just breathing. No clutter. Everything has its own space within the mix or the song itself. So that's another check mark. So Amazing Graces. Ransom, produced by DJ Premier. If you haven't, I implore you to go check it out. It's available on all DSPs. It's a good listen. It's hip hop. And the production is tight. Salute to DJ Premier. Salute to Ransom, Jersey, Brooklyn, Texas. And salute to you. Don't forget to smash that like button. Share the video. Support the channel. I appreciate you all. Remember, you can achieve anything in this world through sheer hard work and patience. God is the greatest. It's your man Ease at the Ease Experience. Go get yours. Share. Yo, what's the deal, fam? It's your man Ease. Big L is back, the Harlem legend, and he's trading bars with Nasir Jones on a new single titled You Ain't Got a Chance, which is slated to be a part of his new project, Harlem's Finest, Return of the King, being released on Halloween, October 31st, 2025 via Mass Appeal Records. Now let's start with Big L's verse. Big L sounds extremely confident, very confident. You can't buy that today or 25 years ago. I heard about the song initially because we all knew Nas was going to be featured on it. I expected something lyrical, hip hop, cinematic in a sense, and that's exactly what we got, mostly. Vocals are reminiscent of a radio freestyle, which he's pretty much known for, right? Like his freestyles, raw, gritty, unfiltered, witty, right? That's perfect because, once again, that's what he's associated with, that energy. It feels authentic, like they didn't overprocess his vocals in any estimation. They sit pretty good in the mix. It's prototypical Big L. Witty lines, things that make you laugh, chuckle, some things that you're reminded by that his imagination that some people couldn't come up with on their best day, which kind of sets him apart from others. But I'll be totally transparent as a listener. It was bittersweet in estimation because hearing his voice, you were excited for that, at least for me. You know, he's had quite a few projects, posthumous albums, right? Because the big picture is 2000. That's the year after his death, or approximately. Then you have the Danger Zone. And I think it was 2 others after that. I could be wrong, let me know in the comments section. So it's great to hear his voice because that's almost, since the big picture, 25 years ago. But here's the thing, listening to this verse, you're reminded how young he was when he passed away. Based on the content, it sounds like Nas is rapping alongside a hungry MC, right? But Big L was never afforded the opportunity to grow and reach his full potential because of what happened. And listening to this verse, although I was happy to hear him, it was a reminder that he wasn't given an opportunity once again to become that seasoned MC that he was destined to be. First ballot Hall of Famer, progression, having an array of different things to talk about. And that's what I mean by bittersweet as far as this verse goes. It's a solid verse, I'm not taking anything away from him, but just listening to it, it's like, wow, 24 years old. And the content is pretty much something that you would expect from a 24-year-old Big L. But 25 years later, almost approaching 50, I'm pretty sure we would have gotten so much more over the course of time. So that was bittersweet, but Big L was solid on this joint, for real. Nas' verse was very sharp. Starts with like a personal intro, exposition, talking about how he's like the first venture capitalist in hip hop, look it up. Then goes on to give his recognition and props and shed light on the legendary one, Cool G Rap. Then he slides into clever wordplay and commentary, talking about today's generation and the internet's influence on them, or everyone in general. But I love how he brings it back full circle, speaking about 139th and Lenox, which is L's block, and how they are part of the same graduating class in the sense that was fire, giving kudos to Big L, stating, you know, he's been around for a while. He was that guy, and he was one of those guys at that time, you know. People knew who he was. It's introspective, but still competitive. He kind of balances maturity with slick wordplay, you know. He also matches Big L's energy in a sense by providing those witty lines. Because if he didn't do it, those two verses wouldn't really match on the song. So that's intentionality on Nas's part. So I really enjoyed Nas's verse. He bodied it. Let's just put it there. I think that's the greatest or the best title possible, but it was great hearing those two individuals on a record together. Both verses were very solid. I'm not even here to state anything other than that. Now let's talk the production. I'm gonna be transparent. That's what I aim to be. When I first pressed play, the first thing that came to my mind while listening to the production, I said, yo, it sounds like there's too many cooks in the kitchen. And when I read the credits, I think it's maybe 4 or 5 individuals listed as a producer, a composer, or a programmer or programmers. And it sounds like it. Now, I'm not saying the beat is bad. It's not trash, but what I'm saying, I don't felt like it fits these two individuals in a sense. Nas sounds more comfortable over said production than Big L, which tells me that the standard wasn't met as far as posthumous songs go, especially coming off Infinite. If you have an instrumental or, an a cappella, it's the producer's job to fit the vibe of the a cappella. And I wasn't really sold on that, to be honest with you. It's not a bad instrumental, but it sounds more like it would be part of a documentary. And this is the music that plays during the opening credits where the narrator or producers or the star or co-star or a bunch of different names are plastered on the screen, letting us know who's a part of the project. That's what I envision with this particular music. The production, once again, isn't bad. I just think that it could have been better in a sense, but it does. I will say this: I enjoyed the song more watching the visual on YouTube as opposed to listening to it on the DSP. So all in all, it's a solid song. I'm definitely gonna support the project. The strengths for me is hearing Big L's voice again in full form. I'm always gonna accept or respect or acknowledge that. Nas' verse brings a new perspective and maturity. He seems very hungry to this day, man. It's a beautiful thing to see and witness. I'm glad what he's doing for hip hop. The emotional connection, once again, hearing Big L and just thinking back on how young he was when he passed and what, just imagining what he would have been at this present time. Here are some reservations. Wasn't the biggest fan of the production for these, the song, but the soundscape isn't bad. I just think that it aligns with something different, a different vision, at least for me as a listener. But overall, it's respectful, it's not forced, and we got Big L. It did not over-processed in a sense, but I just feel like coming off the Infinite that, in my mind at least, my hearing, that there is a new standard regarding posthumous music, and I don't think that the production fit Big L to a T. That's just my honest opinion. I'm looking forward to the project, definitely supporting it. But in the comment section, let me know your favorite Big L line from You Ain't Got a Chance and your favorite Nas line from You Ain't Got a Chance. And let me know what you think about the production. Either way, if you agree with me or not, still family, I respect you all. Remember that you can achieve anything in this world through sheer hard work and patience. God is the greatest. It's your man Ease at the Ease Experience. Go get yours. See ya.
Hey yo,